We'll put them on and put that mic almost in your mouth there where you can eat that mic where it'll come. We can get you to come through there. You look right at home with a headphone set on there. Yeah, you're fine. You're good there.
You can hear me?
Yes, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All righty, we're ready to rock and roll now. Welcome to Spartans at the Spice on a Monday afternoon, every Monday here from the Sugar and Spice. We got a special guest with us today. We've got one of the men's basketball players, Karmani Gregory. Welcome to the Spice, Karmani.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's just talk a little bit about Karmani. I'm going to look at my cheat sheet on you right here, that when I do the game, I've got on every player, I got the scoop.
Okay.
Right here. Now, this was one from a little whiles back, so I'm sure you're probably right there. Averaging over 10 points a game, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Still with that? You are getting about 2 rebounds a game.
Yeah, something like that.
In that neighborhood there. Shooting around 68% from the free throw line.
It's terrible. It went up, though. It went up.
It's gone up. That's good. And I'm saying you're probably up around over 30 for threes now. You were 28 back then.
Yes,
so that's
sir.
gone up, though. You lead the team in assists.
Yes,
right
sir.
there. And second on the team in steals.
Sounds
about
right.
Sound pretty good?
First or second one of them, but yeah.
Do you resemble those remarks?
Of course.
Okay. All right. And you are from Palmetto, Florida.
Yes, sir.
How's a guy from Palmetto, Florida end up at USC Upstate?
Well, I went to FSW where Marty coached at before, so he had some connections there, and my old coach that previously left, he tied me in with Marty, and Marty said he liked my game and he wanted me to come here with him. So it's kind of.
I'm a former coach. I like your game too.
Appreciate you.
Because when I'm not there either broadcasting your game, I came to a couple of games and was incognito sitting in the stands up top. I wanted to mug the mascot and take his suit out there where I could be mascot for the night and go wild and crazy, but I couldn't get it. I didn't have the heart to do that.
You got to try out for it, probably.
Yeah, you probably would there though. But I've watched pretty much all your games on ESPN Plus. So when I'm not doing them on Plus, and I keep up with you. But I like what you've done this year though.
Appreciate you.
How has it been? Coming to Spartanburg this year. What have you enjoyed most about your stay in Spartanburg?
I would say the weather, but it's been a little cold recently. It kind of resembles Florida weather a little bit, but I like how it's kind of small. It's peaceful. But, when you go in the city, it's they got some things to do out here, but I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
It's a little different from Florida, but, similar.
Okay. We mentioned some of your numbers right there, though, but what do you think is your strong point of your game?
Probably getting guys involved. I'm glad I lead the team in assists, but that shows that I'm not selfish. I like to get the guys going, and then once they get going, then I get going. And I can score too, but I like to get everybody involved, keep everybody as a group. That's my job on the team, and I enjoy doing it.
I see you as being a coach on the floor. Am I accurate?
Pretty
on
much.
That, though?
Just
that
a smaller version of Marty. He's a little more. He's a little
bit taller.
Yeah, he's taller, a little more feisty. He's a smaller version of him.
And as a coach, you used to love those guys that were out there. I had a kid that played for me that went on to play professionally overseas, and he was the toughest player I ever coached. His jerseys was retired at Newberry. His jersey is retired in the SAC 8 conference there, and again, he went to Europe and played, though. But people used to yell at me because he would get on his teammates.
Yeah.
He would hold them accountable. And they'd say, why do you let him do that? I said, I love it. I wish he'd do more. And all like that, though. But you love, the players that can step up and do that, though.
Yeah.
So do you see that as being your role on the team? Or what do you think your role is?
Yeah, my role is to, keep them accountable. And I've been working on that because in the past I haven't been as vocal. But, Marty put me into this leadership role, so I kind of had to do that. So I've been working on that and getting better with that this year. But, when it's time to, like I said, I put the guys in the right positions, and then if I tell them they're not doing what they're supposed to do, that's my job to tell them. If Marty doesn't say it, then I'll say it, and even if he does say it, I'll repeat it. I have to tell them what to do, when to do it. Just hold them accountable, like you just said.
So you are a vocal leader then. What do you see as being the strong point of your game?
Of my game?
Yeah. What are your strong points?
Like I said, passing. I can score. I can shoot. I can play defense. I think I could. I'm not gonna say I could do it all, but
Yeah.
I think I'm a pretty well-rounded player, so I can do whatever you need me to do to win. That's what I do.
What do you feel like you still need to work on the most on your game?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
that free throw shooting and
free throw shooting. Yeah, that's all mental at the end of the day. But I mean, I'll probably say the mental side, just and being more of a vocal leader. Like I said, I'm still working on it, so just getting better at that. But I work on my game so much I'm glad I am a well-rounded player, but like now it's time to step it up and eventually try to master as much as I can and just continue to get better in every aspect I can.
Okay. How has it been? Again, this is a wild ride that I had never seen a whole team go into the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Like that, where this was, and I kept watching the recruiting, signing a player, signing here and there. I said, well, they got 5, they can play now. They had to play the whole game, and then it kept going from there. Though I imagine, it's an opportunity to when you were being recruited too was a opportunity, great chance to play because there's nobody there.
There's nobody there. It was only 2 players.
Really?
Yeah, Drew and CJ. They were only returners.
Yep.
So got to fill a whole roster.
And let's see, CJ didn't play hardly any.
Yeah, no.
And the other was redshirt and hurt last year.
Yeah,
so
hurt,
there was no. I think there was 2 returning points off the roster from last year coming back.
Yes, sir, pretty much.
So, well, how has it been this year as far as you're playing with a whole new group of guys that basically when you go into arena, when you go to UNC Asheville or you go to High Point or you go something like that nobody's ever played in a game in those places. How has that been? You can't lean on somebody else because y'all are going through the same thing together.
Yeah, that's why we got to lean on each other because we're all learning together. And like I said before we started, it's been a bumpy ride, but we're still going to be here for each other. We're still learning, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot of learning,
And again, it's only going to make you better. But
of course,
how hot was it? I know that y'all are so glad to get into the conference schedule because I hate it that coaches, players, and all, you have to play the money games, those games before Christmas and all, just for the budget-wise and all like that, though, where you played a lot of big schools, but you were very competitive at times against some of those schools.
Yes, sir.
And in some of them, I mean, I used to have some games. I remember those games as a coach, you had to play just as hard and as good as you could play not to get embarrassed. And all. What was that like on the pre-Christmas part?
Oh, it was fun. Like you said, we competed with them. Not many people thought we could, but we knew we could, and we showed that. But it was fun just seeing the crowd, the arena. It's like it felt like a video game every time the tip-off happened. Like that's how I felt, and we all felt like that, and we all had fun. I mean, win or loss, close game, blowout. Like it's still a fun experience.
And you get into conference play now, and I look at it this way from top to bottom, and I know it sounds cliche and all like that, but anybody can beat anybody in this conference on a given night.
Yes, sir.
1 through 9. I mean, there was last year the standings ended up with like a 5-way tie in the standings.
5-way tie?
Yeah.
Okay.
With I think from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. In 8th or something like that, it was or the 3rd through 8th. It was a tie, and it went to the final game. The team Longwood that won and got to go to the tournament last year, they were going into the last game of the regular season. They were the 9th place team in the conference.
I heard they were last, and they ended up winning.
They ended up winning on a freak shot at the buzzer to go into overtime and knocked off High Point, and they jumped all the way up from last to the 6th seed or a higher seed. Maybe it's higher than that, and ended up running the table. All they had to do is win 3 games, and they got in.
And they did. I heard about that.
And that's the thing. I mean, right now that it's nice to say we're the regular season champions, but they ain't gonna get you in the big dance. It's what you do there. So what y'all are going through right now is hopefully getting you ready where all you got to do is win 3 in a row when you go to Tennessee, you go to the big dance. And so that ought to give you something there. You've been in it with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you went to Asheville and were right there with them on the road, and you're going to get. I can tell you, you're going to get Gardner Webb when they come back to your place because
We're
I remember
gonna get everybody at least once.
Gardner Webb. We went up there 2 years ago and we played them, and they shot 73% from the floor for the game, and we went 13 minutes straight in the second half without scoring, and got
13.
blown slam out, and then they came to Hodge the second time and we beat them, and then beat them again in the playoffs. That Gainey banked in a 3 at the buzzer that year to advance on to the semifinals of the tournament up in at that point in Charlotte, though.
13 minutes?
13 minutes without scoring.
Dang.
It
the
was.
Whole half.
It was. Yeah, we were at the under 8-minute timeout to go in the game before we scored in the second half. Couldn't throw it in the ocean. And they were like that. They shot 73% from the game, like they do up there. So that's the encouraging thing is all you got to do with all the bad luck you've had and everything right here, you can put 3 games together come tournament time. And, again, I always love playing teams the second time when you have film, when you can study them. My players always knew the other team's plays better than they did.
Yeah.
And they'd call out play. They'd call Georgia Tech, and we'd beat the guy on the spot and say, you're supposed to be over here to take this pass, and you're supposed to shoot by that guy that was supposed to have screened us and all. But we know better than they did. Yeah, you do. So, but just your overall experience there, conference play, you got to feel pretty good that y'all are getting better. You just got to find a way to get over the hump. It seems like every game in the conference seems like it goes down to the last 8 minutes of the game.
And Marty's been preaching that it's a game of runs, and we just got to learn to punch back. They go on a run, we got to go on a run. We go on a run, they might go on a run, but we got to go on another one. And like you said, in the last 8 minutes, and I feel like that's my job. Is how we talked about earlier. That's another one of my jobs. Just get the guys together. Be like, hey, we got 8 minutes left. Like, let's lock in. Let's lock in, do what we're supposed to do, communicate, and fight to the end. Do you want to be in that situation, the go-to guy to do whatever it takes? Of course.
With that, though.
Of course, yeah.
So that I always wanted the ball in my hands for the last shot. It went down to me. I wanted the ball. I didn't care about being scared to miss.
Yeah,
hey, I missed some. I made some, but I missed some.
Yeah, I mean, even if the ball is in my hands, whether it's to score or make a play, like I'll be willing to take that chance. Like I'm willing to take that chance.
Yeah,
like regardless of what happens, and I'm willing to live with the consequences. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Would you rather hit the winning shot or get the assist on the winning shot?
I'm gonna say assist just for what I'm saying.
There you go.
Of course, the assist.
Yes, the assist there, though. So, all right, let's get into some other things here. We're going to find. We talked a little bit of round ball right now with you and stuff. Though, what are you majoring in?
Right now, I'm just doing interdisciplinary because I want to do real estate, but they don't have much. They don't really have major in that. They kind of got business and stuff. So I'm just doing interdisciplinary right now, just trying to figure out which exact major I want to do. But they also told me I could do interdisciplinary and minor in maybe marketing, a minor in business, just to have those classes, just to learn. And yeah, pretty much.
I think my first year I majored in psychology. That lasted about a year.
What happened?
I went to PE after that. PE. I ended up doing PE.
What's wrong with psychology? I know some people that might major in
I thought about that it really, what was I going to do with it? I didn't.
Therapist?
Yeah, that's not one of my cup of tea, though.
Oh, okay.
For doing that.
Understandable.
That I ended up, like I said, I was wanting to go into some possibly type church youth group. I wanted to work with young people. And then my wife, who was my girlfriend at that time, encouraged me to go into sports, since I love sports and played the game and everything like that so much, and try to be a positive example.
So what was your major?
I ended up going with PE.
Oh, that's a major?
Yeah.
Okay.
Physical education was major.
Okay.
That I went with that.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy learning about those things. Like, I'm taking sports ethics, so I'm still learning about, like you just said, giving back to the youth, trying to maybe be a coach later on or whatever the case may be.
Well, that was what I did. And then I got my master's degree. I went to the United States Sports Academy down in Daphne, Alabama, in Mobile, Alabama, down there. And I got my master's in sports management, sports marketing, and sports administration.
You got 3 different ones?
That was it. They were tied in, yeah.
Oh, okay. It was all in one.
They're all in one thing there, but that's what my master's is in, though. So,
okay.
So
Do you use it to this day?
yeah, that's what I'm doing. A lot of what I'm doing right here. It's marketing, stuff like that. That I felt like that as a coach. When I was coaching high school, I felt like it was not only my job to be the head basketball coach, but it was also to put a product on the floor that was entertaining.
Okay.
And we did all kind of fun things. We got to have the best uniforms money could buy. That I had. I mean, I designed every one of our uniforms. One of ours, our colors were red and black, and one of them that we had was a red uniform that had black pinstripes, like the Bulls, pinstripes on it like that.
Yeah.
All of our game, I got us a new set of uniforms every year. We had red, black, and white uniforms. They all had the names on the back of every jersey, had the players' names on the back. We had the long warm-up pants that were like Indiana's, the clown pants like Tennessee wears. They were red, white, and black.
Okay.
We had the long sleeve shooting shirts, and then we had the short sleeve sleeveless shooting shirts had names on the back. Our practice gears had the name on the back, of reversibles on both sides. And all. So we gave them.
Y'all had some money.
I raised all the money for it.
Oh, okay.
That I raised the money for it. So I felt like it was important that I wanted my players to have the best uniforms money could buy.
Okay.
And I wanted to be proud of it. But in return for that, I expected to give me the best that they had.
Oh, yeah.
Because whenever they stopped doing that, then I went back and dug the Daisy Dukes out of the boxes in the back room there. Say, you want to wear these?
Yeah.
I said, I'm giving you everything I got. You better give me everything you got.
I respect that, though.
But we played an offense similar to what y'all run. We played a 5-out. And back then, when I first took over this program that I had, that I was all-time winningest coach at, they only had won 3 games in 3 years. And so
3 years?
3 years, they only won 3 games. Their players were embarrassed to wear their leather jackets around Spartanburg. Everybody laughed at them. Mm-hmm. And so we came in, and we made it fun. From the athlete standpoint, everybody had better athletes than me. We had no size. So I couldn't teach them to be 6'6", 6'7", but I could teach everybody on the team to shoot the 3. Even my 5-man could shoot the 3. Mm-hmm. And in our offense, everybody was a shooter. That we ran the spread motion, the 5-out offense, picking down on each side, and gave them a lot of freedom. And we led the state of South Carolina, and we are still in the record books today that we led the state in threes every year. That we had 164 threes as a team.
Dang.
1 year.
How was our record first year?
First year, we were 12-14.
I bet.
And so that was, when I told the superintendent when they offered me the job, I said, well, when do I need to let you know? I said, I got to think about it. He said, what's there to think about? I said, well, I'm promised I'm next in line for the job at Dorman. And I said, plus there's never been a coach here at this school ever going anything bigger or better. Mm-hmm. He said, if you could ever win 8 games in 1 year, he said you could go anywhere in the state you wanted to. And I won 12 my first year, and I got phone calls from all over. Hey. But I stayed. I turned down a program that went on and won 3 straight state championships in South Carolina that I could have taken to stay where I was.
To be head coach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That I left that, though. But we shot the 3. We ran the floor. We played up tempo. We turned out the lights and did the starting lineups with the Bulls music, with Sirius and all that stuff like that. I painted the student section bleachers. They were all painted red over their seats for the dog pound. We had the 3 tree on the wall they put up. We projected the starters' pictures with a projector up behind when the lights were out on the wall.
Y'all did it all.
We made it fun.
Yeah, I can tell.
And that's my fault. Everything I do, we're going to make this fun today. Yeah. But everything we did, we made it fun. And it was entertainment. Yeah. We packed the stands. We took in more money in basketball than the football team did for football gates. That we made more money for the school than football did.
Because you made it exciting.
We made it fun, yeah. That everybody was a part. I mean, I was a guy who, too, would go with the dog pound and would get the stacks of newspapers so when the other team was introduced, our fans could read the paper and ignore them and all that fun stuff. We were like the junior Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, I can tell.
With all that, though. But we made it fun,
the student section they were
rowdy.
They were rowdy?
Yeah, they were rowdy. And I had certain people that would they were cruel too. I wasn't the instigator on this for some of it, but they would get on the other coaches something awful. They were telling, we were the Bulldogs, and they were getting one of the other coaches and yelling at him, talking about that your coach looks like our mascot and all this other stuff though. But sometimes I had to laugh at them when I had to turn around and laugh though and pretend like I didn't see it.
That's what you need though.
But we made the games
fun. You need that support like that.
Yep, you do.
Yes.
Sure do. So that's just what I'm trying to do now is to help for people like yourself and all. I'm trying to get y'all introduced to where people in Spartanburg can see you and get to know you.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to. Like I said, I'm not from here, so I'm glad to meet you.
That was my intentions of doing this because I don't make any money for doing this. Matter of fact, I go in the hole on doing this. But being a former player, I want to give something back to the program. And, for so long, USC Upstate, we were the redheaded stepchildren of that other school in town here, though, and got treated that way that I want people to realize that we got a good product out there,
too. Oh, yeah,
though.
Definitely. Appreciate you, man.
So I appreciate y'all. All right, just tell me, what's your typical day like at USC Upstate?
Well, I got on all online classes, which is a blessing, so I don't have to go in person. But right now at 7:30, shoot with my coach, head coach. Go back, then film at 11, and we got weights, and then practice after that. Practice from like 12 to 1 or something like that. Rest a little bit, and then go back later and go to the gym again. So I'm just in the gym all day. I don't got classes. I mean, when I go home, I do homework. But other than that, I'm just in the gym all day.
If you were not playing basketball, what would you be doing? If you were not a basketball player?
Probably real estate.
Okay.
Yeah, because my dad.
I got some property that needs to be sold, a couple acres.
Hey, I can help out. But,
okay.
Yeah, but my dad and my brothers, they have a lot of property, so I kind of seen that growing up, and I kind of want to follow in those footsteps. And be a fisherman too. I probably would.
Okay.
A commercial fisherman. I wouldn't mind doing that.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
When I was a little boy, I used to go fishing with my grandma, and then as I got older, my patience just didn't work. If I went fishing and that little bobber ain't gone under in about a minute, I'd throw the pole at the fish and try to hit him over the head.
Were you freshwater fishing?
I was pond fishing.
Yeah, see, that's boring.
That's boring. You're right.
You got to go to saltwater.
I didn't have time to do that.
I would say that's the only downside of the area we're in South Carolina.
Okay.
There's no fresh saltwater.
If you could be anybody else for one day, who would you be?
Me.
You. Okay.
Me.
You wouldn't want to be anybody else for a day. Nah. Trade places for anybody.
Nah.
Okay. All right. Let me see what else I got for you. I'm going to throw out at you. What do you like to do to have fun?
Fish.
Fish? Is that really your main thing?
Yeah, I do like
fishing. Where do you go fishing? Now, in Florida, you probably had a lot of places.
Yeah, my dad has a boat, so we'll go out different bridges. We'll go out a little bit and fish. But right now, just trying to find any lake nearby. I mean, it's been kind of cold, so I haven't been fishing lately. But
you been ice fishing?
No.
Okay.
I do want to do that though. I heard it's fun. But what was the question again? I zoned out on fishing. My bad.
Yeah, that was fishing.
What was the question?
I forgot that.
I was thinking about fishing too much. My bad.
I said, what do you like to do to have fun?
Okay. Yeah, fishing. I started playing video games more. I'm not too big on it, but I'll play here and there. But video games, I started to read more, and I love making music. I make music just for fun. I'm not posting or nothing, but just for fun, just to be creative. Get all that built up frustration on basketball sometimes, just let it loose.
You need to.
Yeah.
That which leads me to my next question. Where is your happy place?
Happy place?
Because, I mean, with a lot of the things y'all have been through, the heartbreaks you've been through this year, you got to have a happy place and a place just to go to get away, and it could be even in your mind. Yeah. But where is your happy place?
I was about to say, it probably is where it is. Probably just in my room. Just, how I said, yeah, just in my room. I pray. I just pray God just take it all the way.
So religion's important to you. Your faith is.
Yeah.
It
faith is. I'm not really religious, but
my faith is important to me also.
Yeah, that's why. I just give it to Him and just He lets it all out for me. I don't have to do nothing. I just pray And then, like I said, I might play some video games or just, talk to my people, whatever the case may be.
I have two happy places in my mind, and one of them is either being up and I had fun talking with Vera about this last week in Sweden, or at one of these ski resorts up there. That being I used to love the night ski, snow ski, back when I was in college. That was a lot of fun.
You were skiing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
That was fun. And at night, when the lights are on and it's peaceful and calm and cold, it just was enjoying God's beauty out there. That was neat. And then my other place would be someplace you would like, would be sitting under an umbrella with a smoothie or something like that at the beach, just watching the tide come in.
I would love
it don't
that
get
as
any
well.
better than that.
I would change the smoothie to a milkshake, but I agree. I agree.
I get a sugar-free, and I get this from Tropical Smoothie. I have to get my wife makes me get her one and me one too about every day. It is a peanut butter cup, the sugar-free peanut butter cup with Splenda, and it's got peanut butter, it's got bananas in it, and it's got chocolate in it.
Yeah, that's a little
good.
Protein shake, pretty much.
Yep.
That sounds good.
And it's good. And my other things to do to get away is I love to go to concerts.
Concerts, okay.
So my next question is, I've got 2 tickets to any concert, to see anybody live in concert. Who do you want to go see?
I just started changing my music around too.
Okay.
To kind of build around my faith more. But you probably don't know him, but V's. You know who V's is?
No, I don't.
You don't. All right, I would say V's, but you know who Drake is?
I've heard that. Yeah, Drake.
Okay, I'll just say Drake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who would you take with you?
Dang.
I'm putting the full court press
I'll
on
take
now.
you with me.
Okay, all right. I got. Then I can find out who that is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll take you with me. You may like it, you may not, but it'll be a fun experience. Where would you go?
Well,
who would you go see?
Oh, see or see again. That's one thing I love concerts now about as much as I do sports. I've seen 67 different people in concert. So I mean, I saw, and a lot of the people I go back and see now are the greats from the 70s. I mean, I saw Elton John in concert.
Okay.
I've seen Aerosmith in concert. I've seen the Eagles in concert. I've seen about everybody in concert.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite concerts. Paul McCartney, that was with the Beatles.
Okay.
I saw him. Paul McCartney, ELO, out of England. The Electric Light Orchestra is really good. And then I would have to probably put Elton John. I've seen Elton John, Barry Manilow, some of those guys. But those would probably be my top groups right there.
What genre of music is that?
That would be 70s classic rock.
Oh, yeah, I don't know none of them, man. 70s, I don't know.
That was long before you.
My dad, my mom might know, but
I bet they would. I mean, like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Have you heard of them before?
I've heard of them, yeah. My dad kind of plays that type of music.
I love that too. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I enjoy them. Chicago, some of those people. But
Wait, where are you from?
I'm from here.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Spartanburg.
But you just like that type
But
of
I go,
music.
I go to see. My buddies and I, we go see concerts all the time.
Okay.
I was in Atlanta, but got back before Christmas. I went to see concerts.
What was the farthest concert you went to, like away from here?
Probably Atlanta. Atlanta, some of the bigger bigs come there. They won't come in this area.
Atlanta was the farthest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you would have went to I thought you would have went to England or something.
No.
Crazy.
I've never been out of the country. I'd like to go sometime.
You never been?
I'm trying to get Vera to book me a trip to Sweden here.
Sweden?
I got to work on Vera. I said, you got 2 years to put this together now.
Yeah, I actually want to go visit somewhere out the country after the season. Obviously, I'm focused on the season, but I definitely want to go see somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite sports event?
Sports event? NBA Finals?
NBA Finals?
Like that?
I've covered that
NBA
before.
Finals. You covered it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That I have.
Who was playing?
It was, back when the Celtics were in there one time. But that's one thing that I have been blessed. The good Lord has blessed me that after I coached, that I'm a broadcast journalist with Lindy Sports Magazine out of Birmingham, Alabama, and I did that. But I used to cover the Panthers. That I've interviewed all the big names in the NFL. That I've had. I've had Tom Brady. I've had
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Cam Newton, and I interviewed all the guys in the NBA, that I've had them. Dwight Howard used to be a good buddy of mine. When
Who was the best player you interviewed? Not interviewed, but broadcast with.
That I've done interviews and stuff with.
Yeah.
Probably Steph Curry.
Steph Curry?
Yeah, I've done him, but I've had all the guys in the NBA. I'm going to tell you, and it's probably going to break your heart here, the biggest jerk that I have ever interviewed
Come on.
is LeBron James.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just about to ask, did you interview LeBron?
I have. And this is a true story, and I've told this story, probably people sick of hearing it, but I used to help. I used to have a little fella that I tried to help out, a little boy named Tron, and Tron was battling for his life for leukemia. He was a little student that I had, and was and I used to take Tron. I took him to training camp for the Panthers, and Cam took his shoes off and gave it to him, and I introduced him to Cam and Luke Kuechly and all those guys that were playing with them. But Cam came over and gave him his shoes and stuff. Well, his favorite player was LeBron James, so I took him to Charlotte to see LeBron James. Now, he couldn't go in the locker room like I could when I went in to do the interviews. And so I went in, and the little boy had just gotten out of the hospital chemotherapy the day before and was battling for his life. He was kind of weak. And so after I finished the interview with LeBron, I said, LeBron, if you got about 10 seconds, I said, I got a little boy out here who is battling for his life with leukemia, and he came to see you tonight. I said, could you give him a couple of words of encouragement to help him in his battle? And LeBron looked at me and said, not now, boss man. Said, I'm busy. I'm too busy for that. And he went over and he sat in the corner of the locker room and was shooting Gatorade bottles in the trash can and was so busy cussing and bragging about how many steals and assists and everything he had that night. I couldn't use any of the interviews I did in the locker room for all of his profanity in there, though. But he was the biggest jerk that I had ever been around in my life.
Do you think it was just that day, or you think he is in general?
It was. I got to the point when Charlotte would play the Lakers or wherever he was playing for, I didn't even want to interview him. He photobombed me one time on the court when I was doing my post-game video, wrapping up the game.
Yeah.
There he came around and was in there photobombing me and all, because my daughter told me later that night that she was living in San Diego, and one of her friends said, I just saw your dad on TV, and said he got photobombed by LeBron, and said it didn't faze him. And she said, oh, he hates him. It doesn't matter, because I just kept on talking. I didn't even.
Dang, he really hate LeBron?
He and J.R. Smith photobombed me on the court one time, though.
When he was in Cleveland or Lakers?
He was with, I think he may have been with the Heat then. No, he was back in Cleveland. That's right.
Yeah,
J.R. Smith, was with
there.
him,
Okay.
though. But yeah, just the things there, and I mean, just his way he would come in. I mean, it's like I asked Dwight Howard about that, and LeBron, and he said, yeah, I'll be glad to. And he told the little boy, his message was, he said, this is your boy D. Howard. And he said, I just wanted to encourage you to stay strong in your faith. He said, trust in God. And he said, just hang in there. He said, I'll be pulling for you. And he said, you're going to be okay. And that boy's still alive now.
That's good.
This is like 10 years later, he's still alive, though. And he went, the boy also, he loved the Celtics. And so I got, one of my favorite coaches in the NBA was Doc Rivers.
Okay.
And so Doc came over, and I got Doc to come over and talk to him, and he gave Tron a big hug and told him, he said, I promise you one thing. He said, Tron, he said, you keep pulling for the Celtics. And he said, I promise you the Celtics will be pulling for you. And I got Rondo, who didn't never do interviews or would never talk to anybody. He came over and talked to him. And Paul Pierce talked to him too, though.
Okay.
So
this is an important question.
Uh-huh.
Did you interview Kyrie?
Yeah. I interviewed him when he was at Duke.
Was he a jerk?
He wasn't then. I'm going to tell you.
He is now?
You know who another one of the biggest jerks is?
Who?
Russell Westbrook.
I mean, I've seen his interviews.
This is what he does. He comes in after the ball game. He'll come in there, and when the game's over, he comes in and he takes his time walking around. And all these stupid media people that think he's got something important to say, I don't waste my time with him. He's an idiot. So he'll do that, and he'll go over and he'll start playing with his phone, sitting there for a while, and then after about 10, 15 minutes, he goes and takes his shower and The reporters are still waiting on him. Then he comes back and gets the newspaper out and reads the newspaper. And he keeps them there for about 45 minutes after the game's on.
Dang.
The rest of his team's sitting on the bus waiting for him. And then finally, I don't know what he does because I'd never stay. I don't ever wait for him there. But he makes his team wait, and he plays a little game of reporter. And I said, there ain't nothing he could say that would interest me in any way, though. But and he didn't used to, when he and Kevin Durant, when they were both in Oklahoma City, they both used to come in. They were as nice and humble as could be, but he just turned into.
Yeah.
And Durant did too, but I remember back when they would, they'd be wearing blue jeans and stuff, and then, you could walk by them on main streets at Charlotte or something, you wouldn't have noticed who they were like that. But
You think it's because they're like tired of it or something? Like, why do you think
the fame went to their head big time?
Oh, you think it's their egos?
Yeah. And I think that's LeBron's part too, though. But that's the one thing that I have done that has really been interesting, that I've seen all the best of the best in every sport, but I get a different perspective. Y'all see what the marketing agent puts out there and wants you to see. I get to see behind closed doors in the locker room, and you know how things are a lot different in the locker room than they are out there in the general public. So I get to see the true people in what I did, though. But
Kyrie was cool though.
He was, yeah.
It's cool. Okay.
I had interviewed him, Jason Tatum, and all those guys back when they were at Duke. I had them before they even got to NBA too, because I covered Duke. I went to the Final Four with Duke and was with them as a part of the Duke media when they cut the nets down in Indianapolis the last time they won it. When they had all those guys with Winslow and all those other guys that were playing for them, though.
That was about 4 or 5 years ago. Nah, it was longer than that. It was like 10 years ago. Yeah.
So that I've gotten to cover Super Bowl with Cam and all the stuff like that. I've got to cover about every big event.
Okay. And you've been around a little bit.
Yep.
Been around.
Well, I'm an old man. I'm 66 here, so I'm on Route 66 this year.
Route 66.
Yep, but I've been blessed that I've gotten to see and do a lot of things that most people would never get that opportunity to do. All right, I'm going to put the full court pressure. I can sit here and talk with you all day, and I know Coach Martin's waiting over here for his chance right there. But this is fun. I'm enjoying this. You're the first player I've gotten to talk to this year for the guys.
Oh, for the guys?
Yeah.
Oh, you talked to the girls already?
Yeah, I've talked to. Okay. They've come every week, but you're the first guy to get to come. And
hopefully some more can come in.
Yeah, I would love that. All right, these are either or questions right here.
Okay.
All right, heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails never fails. That's right. I always had my captains when I coached football call tails. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Okay. Movie or books?
Movie.
Okay. Let's go with Pepsi or Coke?
I don't drink soda, but I'll go with Pepsi.
Okay. It's a Coke generation.
Yeah.
I don't drink them either. So
I don't drink no soda.
I don't either. Chinese or Italian?
Italian.
Are you early bird or late owl?
Early bird.
Oh, man. You probably – I used to, when I coached and taught school, I had to get up like at 5:30 every morning.
5:30? That's what my dad does.
And I had to do that. I had to be at school at 6.
Yeah.
I'm making up for it now. I think I rolled out of bed.
Sleeping in.
I get up every day maybe, but sometime between 10:30 and 11.
Oh, yeah, you getting good sleep.
But I stay up till about 2 or so every night because when everybody else goes to sleep, I'm a night owl on there. That's my best time is when I can sit there when it's quiet in the house and I can work on my game preparation stuff or, my questions, my ideas come in. What am I going to ask them tomorrow? Some new, fresh stuff, some fun stuff.
Yeah, you were prepared.
That I do a lot of stuff, preparation thing, and just kind of sit back and absorb the day until about 2 a.m. and then
2 a.m.
That's why I go to bed about 2 a.m. every night and get up about 10:30 or 11. That's coaching hours.
I mean, you retire, you good.
Hey, I do what I want to when I want to, if I want to. That's right. That's the name of the game. All right. Let's see here. We got this one. Hugs or kisses?
What you mean?
Are you a huggy person or a kissy person? Which do you prefer? I mean, you go up and hug somebody, you go up and kiss somebody.
Oh, a hug. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't asking for you to do one of those to me or something. No. Let's get that straight.
We'll do hugs.
Okay. All right. Hunting or fishing?
Fishing.
You're the fishing man. That's right.
Of course.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay. Spring or fall?
Spring.
Okay. Are you a big city guy or small town guy?
I'll say small town.
Okay. You would
I
prefer to be
like
that?
visiting the big city, but like
You wanna
living
live there.
wise, yeah, I'll do small town.
Are you a GQ guy or a casual guy?
What does that mean?
That means, are you a dress up guy? Do you like to dress up and go out in town, or are you more of a casual guy?
Casual.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind dressing up depending where we're going, but
You
on the regular.
You check me out Saturday and see. I like to dress up.
Okay, we'll
I'll
see.
probably have my matching hat on, my suit or something like that.
You wear suits?
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
I wore
don't
blue.
like-
I had a blue suit on, a new blue suit on when I wore back when Big PC.
Oh yeah,
so-
you getting fresh.
Yes, that's right. Got to make that good impression. That's
course.
my TV look. Would you rather speed or strength?
Speed.
Haunted house or escape room?
Haunted house.
Okay. Would you rather spend a day in space or a day in a submarine at the bottom of the ocean?
A day in space.
Okay. I'd be afraid my submarine would spring a leak.
Yeah.
I couldn't get out.
Because I actually want to see what space. I want to see.
Really?
Like, if it's really there.
Okay. All right. TV shows or movies?
TV shows.
Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Christmas Day.
Okay. Sand or snow? Would you rather spend time in the sand or in the snow?
Oh. Sand meaning beach or just
Yes.
sand? Oh, okay. I
No,
thought you-
not
I
in
thought
a
you were talking about the-
sandbox
I
with a
think
little
it's-
shovel.
I think you're talking about like a desert or something like, okay. Yeah, sand.
Use for
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Would you rather have a private jet or a Bel Air mansion?
Ooh. Hey, that's a good one. Private jet.
I'd be scared of the Bel Air mansion. It might be on fire out in California right now. A lot of those burned down.
Yeah, let's go with the jet.
You go anywhere you want
Yeah,
to on your
travel.
jet. Just
Yeah.
hop on. But they're going again. The last week with these air flights, I don't know about
See,
that either.
Either way you go is bad.
We just stay home.
Yeah.
Stay on that boat with the fish. Okay. All right. Day or night?
Day.
Okay. When the lights come on at night, Coach Cox comes out.
What?
All right. Comedies or horror movies?
Comedy.
Summer Olympics, Winter Olympics?
Summer.
I actually got to go to the Olympics and see all the Olympic basketball teams. One time I was in the Olympics in Atlanta.
Okay.
When the bomb went off down there.
Yeah.
But I didn't go to see the Dream Team play because I saw those guys covered all them and went covering the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to see Yao Ming was playing for China then. I saw China and I saw Greece and I saw about 4 or 5. I just wanted to see all the different styles around the world of
And
basketball.
you went out there and watched the person?
Yeah, I was at the Olympic Games when they played. In Atlanta. That was kind of neat. I didn't want to see. I knew how the pros, the Dream Team. That was the first Dream Team with Bird and Jordan and all them, though. So, but I got the chance to go and see all those different.
You interviewed
countries.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Before? Really?
Dang. I had Shaquille O'Neal. I've interviewed him and all those guys. Yeah.
Larry Bird too?
Yeah.
Were they jerks or not?
No. Shaquille O'Neal's funny.
Yeah.
That guy's hands are about the size of a baseball glove. Huge.
Yeah.
And that size 22 shoe, but he's funny.
That shoe was crazy.
He was funny.
Michael
though.
Jordan and Larry Bird, they were cool?
Jordan's kind of standoffish a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I rode up and down the elevator with him several times, the Hornet games when he was with them though. But I had all those guys, so I ran into them though. But yeah. So all right, let's see what else we got on here. Turning the page here. Mac or PC?
Mac or PC?
Computers.
Yeah. Let's go with Mac.
That's what I think I'm getting ready to buy is a new Mac.
Yeah.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Tennis shoes or dress shoes?
Tennis shoes.
Okay, gold or silver?
Gold.
Singing or dancing?
If I could sing, it would be sing.
When I was little, I had two fantasies. I wanted to be a stock car driver,
Okay.
and I wanted to go fast, and I wanted to be a rock singer.
I'll choose the rock
I
singer.
still sing with the radio.
Yeah, I mean, I sing, but just by myself.
Hey, make a joyful noise. That's what it's all about.
Oh yeah, for
Let's
sure.
have fun. So,
I do it by myself though. I don't. Nobody needs to hear me sing.
I bet you'd be a good singer.
I need some lessons first.
Okay. Well, let's get together and team up. We'll do some. You wouldn't want to sing my music though. Board games or video games?
Board game, video games.
Okay, baseball or football?
Let's go with football.
Let's see, snow ski or snowboarding?
Snowboarding.
When you play, would you rather play with a smile or with your game face on?
With a smile.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to put my game face on. I had a mustache and I grew a goatee during the season, and all I had to do was just give them that stank eye right there with that on. I put that game face on. I'd stare those officials down.
Mm-hmm.
My players, I didn't have to say a word. They knew what I was thinking. I just gave them the eye.
Man, you sound scary, man. I don't know if I want to play for you.
But the thing, I'd bust out laughing after that, though.
You sound just like our coach, man.
All right, we've already asked you about dress up, dress down. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Okay. Money or fame?
Money.
Sunrise, sunsets?
Sunset.
Okay. Oscars or Grammys? Would it be actor or singer?
Oh, singer.
Okay. Multiple choice questions or essay questions?
Multiple choice.
Are you adventurous or cautious?
So, adventurous or cautious? Adventurous.
Okay. Let's see here. Calls or texts?
It depends on the situation.
Whether you want to face them or not.
Yeah. Let's go with calls. Let's go
Okay.
with calls.
Okay. Spicy or mild?
Mild.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Truth or dare?
Dare.
Would you rather ride a roller coaster or Ferris wheel?
Roller coaster.
Okay. Denim or leather?
Leather.
Bright colors or neutral colors?
Let's go with neutral. Kind of boring.
I gotta go with bright. I wear the brightest thing. Yes, I wear
You
happy
look like you
colors.
wear a pink suit.
I do.
You see?
I have a pink sport coat.
Pink sports coat.
Yeah, my favorite color.
Like a puffer?
Huh?
Like a puffer jacket? Or?
No, that's regular.
like a, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
like a dinner jacket type thing. There, I've got.
You
a
look
pink
like
one.
you wear bright suits.
I love pink and purple. Two of my favorite
Pink
colors.
and purple.
I'll put something fancy.
Wear a pink suit to the game.
You come over and see me for the ESPN Plus thing, and I'll have something flashy. I'll have something colorful for you.
Wear a
How's
pink
that?
suit.
I hadn't got any more. Don't fit.
Why?
I got a purple.
Oh, it don't fit?
I got a purple sport coat,
Purple.
and I got a couple of things though. But I'll have my handkerchief, and I'll even have my matching hat.
Yeah, wear that.
I got you. Okay.
Wear that.
You come by. I'll show you.
I will.
All right. And last but not least, would you rather be asking the questions or answering the questions?
Asking questions.
All right. Ask me one.
Ask you one?
Yep.
Ooh. Okay. What was the... Nah, that's too generic. I'll ask it. What was, like, your biggest life lesson?
My biggest life lesson. There were... I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I want to make you think.
That's a good question. Right there.
Thank you.
The biggest lessons that I have learned through life was it's important to give God all the glory for everything you do, to put your faith and trust in God. And if you do that, all these things will be added unto you. And he will bless you in so many ways. And he is blessed, I never thought when I was your age or whatever, the people, these sports athletes and people like that I would ever get the opportunity to meet, interview, be around or anything like that. But just goes to show that you try to put your faith and trust and give your talents to God and how he can bless you in a very special way.
That was a great answer.
Thank you.
I'm learning that to this day.
And my last question for you, and we'll wake Coach Martin up in just a minute to get him on here, though. Somebody comes to one of the games this week, comes to game Saturday. Mm-hmm. They see you out there and they don't know anything about you. What would be the most important thing you'd want them to know about you?
I'm bigger than basketball. Like, I know I play it, I do it every day, but I'm much more than that. Because I had to realize, like, like just how you said, put God first. Sometimes I feel like I put basketball first, and I had to learn I can't do that because I'm more than basketball.
Right.
And I have a life outside of basketball. So teach them, like, tell them that, I love playing this game, but there's much more to me than that. and I play the game to help and inspire as many people as I can.
That's what it's all about. I'm gonna let you take a look. You'll kind of see a little bit. This was my player handbook from
Player handbook.
my player notebook that,
Okay.
that I gave 25 years ago. But you can flip through it if you want to while I'm talking to Coach Martin, and you can kind of see what our basketball program was like there,
Okay.
what my things were. But
So you're Christian, right?
I sure am.
Christian,
And
okay.
that was one of the first things that you'll find out on here. And I wrote it, spelled it out. The players had to sign
Yes,
this on there too, but they had to sign it to where they understood what was everything is expected of them. This was for high school when I was coaching high school. But you see on that, see if things. Let me know if things have changed a lot since then.
Okay, I will.
So our special guest today has been Karmani Gregory. Again, appreciate you coming and being with you today. We've learned a lot about you. Going to be there supporting you in every way. I'm going to be checking you out, though.
Yes, sir.
But, again, basketball is a fraternity, and that's one thing that my players played for me 40 years ago, that I'm getting ready to start a breakfast for my former players where we're going to eat once a month on Saturday mornings there. But, one thing you'll find in there, too, that if I can ever help my players, even though they played for me 40 years ago, I'm always there. And you're considered now a member of my USC
Some
Upstate
breakfast,
family.
I like
so I
it.
can ever help you in any way,
Yes, sir.
just let me know. Appreciate you being with me today.
Appreciate you for having me, man.
Thank you. All righty. So our Karmani Gregory has been our special guest, and now we're going to bring on Coach Martin. Now we'll put him in the hot seat. There we go. All right. Well, Coach Martin, what did you learn from our interview that we just had? You learned
quite a bit,
You learned
actually,
Coach
yeah.
Cox is long-winded.
Well,
I could sit and talk basketball.
You're
all
having
day
fun
long.
with the game, and you got a special dude that you're talking to, so I get it.
I watched him play, and I like the way he plays. I think that he is again, a great representative of USC Upstate, but I like the way he plays the game. And I took several coaching buddies with me last week when we came to the game against, I'm trying to think who it was against.
This past week,
I think it was last Wednesday.
Charleston Southern.
It may have been, or maybe it was the week before that. We came and watched the game there. That was a game, I think, against High Point.
High Point, yeah.
High Point.
Yep.
And they made that comment, too. They were impressed with the way he played there. All right, tell us a little bit about Coach Martin. Now, you're not from around here.
No, I'm not. But, yeah, we moved here in early June. Loving it here in Spartanburg so far. Really do. It's a great community. The weather here is much nicer than my Midwest winters in Iowa. The people have been great, both on campus at Upstate, everybody we work with. But, my wife and I, my youngest son, Kellen, is a sophomore at Spartanburg High School. So we've, kind of had a chance to get ingrained in the community a little bit through him and his, stuff with the school and his basketball team. And, we're really appreciating our time here and looking forward to making more connections and relationships with people here, both at the Upstate community and just in the Spartanburg community. But really enjoying it so far.
All right, you said that you and Marty were teammates
That's
back
right.
in the days
Yeah.
there. All right, tell me a funny Marty story. One that you can tell me on the air.
Oh boy, I don't know if I have a specific story, but he was just just like you see on the sideline. Marty's always been very high energy guy. I don't know that I know anyone that loves the game of basketball as much as he does. And he pours so much into it. He's a very competitive dude, but he's always been a good friend too. And so we're kind of connected through the game, as teammates in college. But we formed a good friendship too, and I think we have a lot of trust in each other, and it's been an honor working for him, and I've learned a lot from him. As a former coach, like you think you've seen everything in coaching after you've done it for a while as a player and a coach, and gone through so many experiences, but the game is funny, man. It changes. You learn different things, just through competition, but from other coaches, from other players, and so I've enjoyed, the things I've learned from him, and hopefully I've been able to help make his job a little bit easier. And we know we've got a lot of work to do, building this program. But we're going to try to do it the right way, and most importantly, do it with good people like Karmani, like you just spoke with him. And we know if we build this thing with high character kids like him that work hard and do things the right way, that in the big picture we're going to have this program in a good place and do some special things here.
All right. What are your primary responsibilities being the assistant coach? What do you pretty much oversee, and what do you do?
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. I would say my role is probably, a little bit more focused with scouting the opponents as far as the things they run offensively, and kind of getting our team prepared for what they're going to see from our opponents and what they do, and their tendencies and things like that as far as scouting and in-game stuff goes. During the first half, I've got my little cheat sheet, my card out, and I'm constantly taking notes and trying to come up with a few things to give to Coach Richter at halftime, on both sides of the ball, but specifically defensively, that we can do to improve in the second half, and whether that's adjustments or just things we've got to do better. That's kind of my main role. But heavily involved in recruiting, focused mostly with our perimeter players in practice, working with our guards like Karmani. Each of us assistants has a handful of kids that we work with specifically when we do like extra workouts or extra film sessions and things like that. So I have a group of guards that I work with primarily, but and then I get the joyous task of scheduling, so doing scheduling duties.
So you're the guy.
Yeah, I'm that guy. But I enjoy that too. It's got its challenges, obviously, but I enjoy that. And, that's the fun thing of coaching, especially at this level. No 2 days are the same, and there's always different challenges in front of you that I enjoy, working towards and trying to help our program get better.
So they keep you busy. You mentioned one thing right off the bat, scouting.
Yep.
And that's actually how I got my job as assistant coach at USC Upstate.
Yeah.
My first assignment was that back then they were Central Wesleyan. Now I think it's Central something. You played them earlier this year.
Southern Wesleyan?
Southern Wesleyan,
Yeah.
yeah. They were Central Wesleyan back then.
Yep.
In the day, they were the #1 team in the conference. They'd been to the Nationals in Kansas City the year before. Had a lot of players back, and I had to go to their little gym that they had over in Central South Carolina, and it was like something you'd see in an old thing. It was a little cracker box gym in there, and I scouted them, and I had 8 pages worth of notes that I took there.
Yeah.
I had every tendency. After made free throw, they're coming with full court pressure. What their tendencies were, offense, defense. I had everything. I had down every player's tendencies, how many times he went right, left, and all that. And I brought that back and gave it. Bill Henson was the head coach then, and gave it to him. And we had them. They were the #1 team, ranked team in the conference, and they were coming to the Hodge Center to play that night. And they came in, and I sat down with the players, went over, printed out a scouting report for everybody, went over with them, and they came to the Hodge Center, and we beat them by 18.
Wow.
And that got me the job.
There you go. That'll do it.
And I've been coaching basketball for many years. I've been either playing, coaching, or broadcasting now for over 61 years.
Wow,
I love
impressive.
the game,
Yeah,
and I still learn something every day about it. It's like I don't get paid for any of this stuff, the stuff I do here or anything I do for USC Upstate. I don't make any money off this. Matter of fact, I go in the hole, but I do it because I love to still be a part of the game. I love to promote the game, And again, this is my alma mater
Yeah.
over here. I'm tired of, when I was coming up and I was coaching, we were always little redheaded stepchildren in town because of another school in town there. So anything I can do to promote this program, I'm going to do it.
Well, we appreciate that. It's always great to have alumni support, and we appreciate you giving back. And
anytime you need a history class to be told of what it was like, if they get to where they, are complaining about how things are, I can go back to the days of riding in station wagons and vans and no food service, no dorms, any of that stuff, and I could educate them real quick.
Well, we may take you up on that. Marty and I are both actually history majors.
Really?
I think both of us knew kind of early on in our college playing careers that we wanted to coach in college after, but we both got our degrees in education and history specifically, and if the college coaching didn't work out, maybe we could fall back on high school teaching and coaching. But we both appreciate the history and certainly the history of our program. And you mentioned the 82 championship.
Yep.
I just bought a T-shirt the other day. There's a little local boutique kind of close to the neighborhood I live in, and I forget the name of it, but they had kind of throwback T-shirts that says USC Spartanburg rifles and with an old
purple and
logo.
white. And we were purple and white, and we switched to green and white in the middle of the season, and we went down to play a doubleheader with the Gamecocks back in the old Frank McGuire Arena downtown. And we were playing Coastal Carolina, who was USC Coastal then, and we were USC Spartanburg. We were two branch universities, and the Gamecocks were playing William and Mary after us that day. And I will never forget that I was walking around the Coliseum looking to find where the training room was for our players. And lo and behold, Frank McGuire was sitting in his office and invited me in, and I got to talk with Frank McGuire. And Frank McGuire was my hero.
Yeah,
and the Gamecocks back then, that was John Roach and Tom Owens, all those guys. That's what got me started in basketball. But Frank McGuire, he was the one who got me started in basketball, but to meet with him. But getting back to the story, I got sidetracked. We actually came out that night wearing purple and white warm-ups, long pants and stuff, and played in green and white uniforms because we were midway. And then our head coach, he hadn't thunk this one through all the way, that we had purple and white reversible practice gear. So he thought he would switch it over to our colors, thinking that if he dyed it green, that it would become green and white. But he didn't realize when he dyed it, the white became green, so we had purple and green practice gear for to wear the rest of the year.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So those were some of the things that we encountered along the way, though. So, well, just talk a little bit for a minute here, what it's been like. Again, you were one of the guys having to go out to find enough players to have a team and all like that. What was it like when you went to, I don't know if you personally recruited Karmani or not, or what it was like having to go out and build a team from absolute scratch?
Well, a lot of that came down to Coach Marty. I'm not going to lie on that. He was responsible for a lot of them. We all, it all happens so fast, and the transfer portal moves fast. And, when we have an entire roster to fill, you've got to move fast. But at the same time, you want guys that fit who you are as a coach and what you want your program to stand for. And so with all that in mind, Coach gets the job, assembles his staff. I think I was probably one of the first guys that he brought on. So it was you do a lot through video these days. There's just not enough time to go see a kid, multiple times now. Like Karmani said, Coach Richter had a relationship with him and his program because that's where he used to coach, so that was kind of an advantage built in. But, a lot of evaluation on video, then, obviously doing your research on guys with phone calls and, talking to their people, talking to opposing coaches, just trying to get a feel for who they were as far as character and those kinds of things. But Coach did a great job. I mean, he had a very small window of time, had a lot of people or a lot of scholarships to fill, and not necessarily an unlimited budget to do so. So it was kind of a balancing act of trying to tie all that in together and still get quality people and talented kids in our program like Karmani. So, my role in that was helping with the evaluation process, in terms of watching a lot of film and then just, trying to get a relationship going with these kids and their families in as short amount of time as possible, which, I heard a famous coach say it's kind of like speed dating these days. You know what I mean? Like you go through a lot of kids and you make quick evaluations because you just don't have a lot of time, especially in the situation we were in. You hope year or two that you can invest more time in the relationship side of it and, be more thorough. But, super pleased with the kids that said yes to being Upstate Spartans. And, I know we all want to win more games, and we're certainly not satisfied with our results, but couldn't be prouder of the way these guys carry themselves, on the court and in the classroom and in the community. And I feel like we're building this thing the right way. We're really close, like you mentioned, to getting over the hump and doing some special things. But you've got to have the right kind of people that you can trust and that you look forward to going to practice with every day. And I think we definitely have a good crew for that.
So, okay, how has it been as far as you say one of your main responsibilities? Just tell me what goes in to putting together the schedule. You've got to get so many of those games, those money games.
That's right.
And all like that, though. How do you look at who do you want to try to get for these games and stuff, or how does that work?
Well, we want to schedule wins. That's the end goal, right? Like we want to set ourselves up for success. But like you said, there's certain things in criteria you have to meet, and like you said, at our level, you've got to bring in some money that helps the entire program and the school, and so I guess we try to get games that we think we can be competitive in. We also look at we want as many games in our region as possible. Like this year, we only had to fly one time, and that was when we played at the University of Iowa right before Christmas break, and that obviously helps with our budget and things like that. But we also want to have games where our fans can come get to. We had a good turnout at NC State. We had a good turnout at Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, because people could drive there, and the kids that are from the region, their parents and families could come see us, and so that support is invaluable. So there's a lot of different things that we look at. You try to schedule a balance of home games and away games, and so we started some new series this year that'll continue. Like we had Wilmington at home this year. We'll go there next year. We had Coastal Carolina at their place this year. They'll return to the Hodge next year. Okay. So you try to balance it that way. Ultimately, though, my overriding answer would be we're trying to set ourselves up. And each year is different. Like this year is a whole new team, a whole new roster, like you mentioned. But ultimately, going forward, we're trying to set ourselves up for success in Big South play. And that could look a little bit different each year, aside from the fact that you got to play, your 4 money games or 4 or 5 games, whatever that's going to be. But we ultimately want to get ourselves in a position where we think, we have a chance to be a contender in our league. And then ultimately, by the end of the year, when we go into that Big South tournament, we feel like we got a legit chance to win that thing and go to the NCAA tournament. So that's ultimately what it's about.
And again, I don't know. The regular season winner, I know Asheville won the regular season, I believe, a couple of years ago and then made it there. But it's no guarantee the regular season winner is going to win the tournament, though.
Yeah.
And again, that story last year is so amazing with Longwood.
Right.
That was so close to being the last place team in the conference.
Well, and we've talked to our guys about that. We just had a tough game with them, a week and a half ago or whatever it was, where we were up most of that game at their place. Mm-hmm. And, we talked to our guys about just that fact that you said, Coach. Like at our level in our league, everybody wants to win the regular season. Don't get me wrong, but everybody really wants to win the tournament and go to the NCAA tournament because that's the ultimate. And so ultimately it's about who's playing their best when it matters at the end of the year. And so we, the guys understand that. And I think again the attitudes and the effort have been outstanding in practice. despite some tough setbacks here recently. There's a lot of hope in that locker room, and I think, you know how it is as a coach. Like we got to get back on board on the right side of things, and I think that'll get us going on a good streak. But we're confident our kids, can do that, and that's really what we're after. We're taking it one day at a time. Don't get me wrong, but there's still that end goal in mind.
What are your thoughts? And I've talked to Marty about this too, and I think with this about you taking the lead like the women in the NBA about going to 4 quarters for the games, and at the end of the game being able to advance the ball and the free throw.
Yeah.
It's where you restart the free throws at each quarter and you get to 5, and that's like being double bonus. You shoot 2 shots.
Right.
What do you think about that? Maybe the men adopting that and going that route.
I'm surprised we haven't in some of those areas. I think Marty and I have talked a little bit about some of those things, and we have some differing opinions. I do personally like the quarters. I do like one because it gives you kind of the built-in break, but it also creates more end of buzzer beater situations. Right. and strategy. I like the strategy part of it. I do like the reset of the fouls. I think it's very frustrating when there's games where teams get into the bonus super early, then they're in the bonus the rest of the half, and you're seeing just a ton of free throws, and it really feels like the officials are having a bigger impact on the game, right? Like I like that fact where it resets, and then once what is it, 5 fouls, and you're in the double. But so I do like that rule. Marty and I disagree, I know, on the fact that he likes the timeout where you can advance the ball. Uh-huh. I'm not a fan of that. I like the full court plays and the full court strategy that's involved there. So that we're a little different in that one. But I don't know if that's even being discussed with rules committees and men's side. I know we're the only sport in basketball that doesn't have quarters. High schools have quarters, FIBA has quarters, NBA. And then the women's side. So it's kind of a unique situation, but I don't know if that's something on the table or not.
It seems like every Big South game, when you get to the 8-minute mark, that's when the games are won and lost. Almost like every possession, you can't waste a possession when you get in that situation. Is there anything, do y'all do anything as far as when you're in that situation? Do you look for a go-to guy? Do you ever change it up and run, mix your defense up or change that up, or do you stay with your defense there or run any set plays during that time to kind of throw the other team off?
I don't have a specific answer. I think in part because I think, Coach goes a lot on feel in the situation at hand. Are we in foul trouble? Is the other team in foul trouble? Who's playing well that night? Like who do we think gives us the best chance? If we do have a timeout, we need to put the ball in somebody's hands. I think our guys, we've practiced a lot of situationals. We're gonna get into those more now that we're in the second half of the league. We're gonna play a lot of 4-minute games in practice and simulate end-of-game situations, those kinds of things where it is game-like. You don't know what situation might come up that night, but you've got to be prepared and you've got to have the confidence to execute in those situations. And we spent a lot of time on those in the summer and kind of went through different scenarios, like what our strategies and philosophies are. But you're right. I mean, you got to have guys step up and make plays and have the confidence to do that. We've been in a lot of situations here recently, and been in position where we're right there, and just haven't been able to get over the hump in these recent games. But but we're still confident in our guys, and it's just something that we're a young team. We've just got to do a better job all the way around of I think it comes down to minimizing mistakes a lot of times in those situations. It doesn't need to be somebody's got to necessarily just, go out and be the hero and win the game for you. I think a lot of times it comes down to good teams take advantage of other teams' mistakes in those situations. One thing we got to do a better job of as a team is make our free throws, and don't get me wrong, none of the guys are trying to miss, and they put the work in, but that's an area where, we can get extra reps in with guys after practice. They can, we give them goals. They've got to be confident when they step up. We got, because you look at our last game against Radford, you get that stat sheet like you do at the end of the game, and you look at it, and you typically look at, okay, what was our field goal percentage and what was theirs? Well, it was very similar. What did we shoot from three? What did they shoot from three? Well, it was very similar. Okay, did they have more possessions and shots on goal than us? No, we actually had, I think, 8 or 9 more total shots than them. Okay, well, where's the difference coming from? Well, the difference was at the free throw line. Those guys got to the line a little bit more, but they converted more. And that's a lot of times it can be just one little thing like that that's the difference between a win and a loss on that given night. And so, we're trying to consistently put our guys in those different situations in practice, and we just keep thinking, or we keep believing that, once we get over the hump, then it's gonna springboard into a good streak, and hopefully, like I said, playing our best basketball down the stretch here.
And that's the thing that's got to be so frustrating. You're so close. You're right there. You've been so close. Only really one game have you really been blown out, I think, of right there. But you're so close in conference play. You got another shot at them, and again, the main thing is, all I got to do is get to March and win 3 in a row, and we where we want to be.
Yeah, like I said, that's you begin with the end in mind, and that's definitely the end goal. But it is a process. I know Coach talks about that, on the show and with the guys all the time, and he's right. You can't skip any steps in the process, we're constantly evaluating how we can get better as coaches. And the good news is our guys have taken that coaching. They're trying to improve. Like I said, it'd be a different story if I came in here and said, man, the guys, the practices just haven't been spirited. They're not competing. No, that's not the case at all. Like these guys, in fact, I would say some of our best practices of the year we're getting ready for the Radford game. And so that's the good sign of the character of our team. I think, again, if we just continue that trend, sooner or later, good things are going to happen to this group.
I'm going to blow your mind on you look at stats towards the end of the game on that, though. This was the game that I did for the girls that they won at home. When they beat Longwood at home, Longwood took 30 more shots than them. 30 more shot attempts, and the Upstate girls had 31 turnovers, and they still won.
I did not know
30 less shots and 31 turnovers and won the game.
My mind is blown on that one. Yeah, you got me.
And another thing that blew my mind on this, too, it was the first time, and you talk about learning things as you go along, I had never, ever seen or been a part of a game that in that game, neither team ever got to the bonus shooting free throws.
Wow.
There was no bonus.
How did we win?
Quarter. We won by 1.
I said, how, though?
We won the battle of the boards, and higher field goal percentage. The shots they shot. I think we shot 50-something% right there, but they got 30 more shots, and we had 31 turnovers.
Boy, I've never heard of
won.
That drastic of a difference, and still get it win. That was a big win for them, though. I was happy for Coach.
That was huge. Girls, That was. All right, last question. I'm going to ask you the same one thing we finished Karmani with on here. You being a new coach in the neighborhood, people walk in, or being here in Sugar and Spice. We're getting ready to get something to eat here in just a second, though. Somebody didn't know who you were. What would be the most important thing you would want them to know about you?
If they didn't know who I was, I would want them to know how important my family and my faith is, and kind of like Karmani said, coaching is what I do, and I'm very passionate about it. I love it. I'm very blessed to be a coach, but it's not necessarily who I am. It's just what I do, and I love to do it. And I love serving these guys and Coach Richter and the other guys on the staff. But yeah, there's definitely more to me than just being a coach.
Oh, that's a great answer right there, and we appreciate you being with us today. Spartans play at PC. That's a rivalry. They come up with this stuff about the series there. We were playing PC back in my day.
That's right.
Right there. It's not like it's the 12th game in the series. It may be since they've been in the Big South, but that's been a huge rivalry over the years. I remember Greg Nyburn was the coach down there when we were coaching, and trying to think of what the other guy was. He went on with left, and Brian St. No, I was trying to think there. Brian, I can't. He went to Furman after he left there when we were there, though. But we've had that rivalry. You go there, that's who you beat in conference
That's
play,
right. Yep.
and then it's going to be a payback time for Winthrop. That's a game you could have had up there
Yeah.
and had a bad stretch at that 7-minute mark there, though. I'll be broadcasting that
Great.
one. Look forward to being there with
Some
y'all.
good luck.
Again, I'm undefeated. I'm
Hey,
going to knock on
there
wood.
you
I'm
go.
probably going to blow my streak now, but Upstate has not lost a game that I have called this year.
Well,
Lenny, where are
keep
you,
bringing
Lenny?
that magic to us
I'm
on
going
Saturday.
to keep
so
shoving that at Lenny right there, though.
There you go.
But appreciate you being with us today. And again, if you get a chance to catch the games, I want to urge you to do that. And if you can't make it there, you can sure tune in on ESPN Plus. That's what I do. The night y'all played at Asheville, I watched 7 games on ESPN Plus.
Yes,
that
it's a
particular
nice tool
night,
to have, yeah.
I had that, and all 7 games went down to the final possession.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So y'all lost on the final possession. The women won. South Carolina lost on the final possession. Furman won. Walford lost. I watched the game between Charleston Southern and Winthrop went 3 overtimes.
That's right.
And the Gardner-Webb game with Radford right down to the wire. So I saw all 7 of those.
I tell you, the league has been impressive, and I think Coach Marty would say the same thing. Like we knew it was good, but it's exceeded our expectations. And like you mentioned to KG here, like anybody can win on any. You got to bring your A game, or you're going to get beat that night.
That's true.
So that again, we feel like we're right there, and we just got to get one on Wednesday and get going on a good streak. And I think the guys are ready to do that. So appreciate you having me on. It's been a lot of fun, and appreciate all your support for the Spartans.
If you ever need a tour of Spartanburg, be glad to help you out in any way, though. So Coach Bryan Martin, been our special guest here at Spartans on the Spice. That's going to wrap it up for this week. We'll see you next Monday on Spartans at the Spice. Let me give you my card. If I can ever do anything for you, if you need to know anything about Spartanburg, I've lived here all my life.
How do I tune in?
If you go to the YouTube channel,
to YouTube.
put Cox Sports Broadcasting in it. And it goes all over the country. It's got my interviews. Karmani, you'll see. You go back far enough, you'll see my interviews with some of those NBA guys and all that stuff on there. Yeah.
That's cool. Is it Cox Sports Broadcasting?
Go YouTube, and you can go then the YouTube channel where it says right there search. Put Cox Sports Broadcasting in there.
Thank you.
But all the NBA and NFL guys, I had Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I've interviewed all those guys.
Done well for
It's been a sports lover's dream.
Yeah, I
The
bet.
good Lord has blessed me on that. I never thought that ever meet these people, but to get to talk to them and be friends with them. That's cool. It's kind of nice. So.
All right.
I think one of my neatest things I ever did was I got to cover the number 2 man for the Carolina Panthers was a good friend of mine. So he helped arrange for me to get to go to Green Bay to see the Packers play the Panthers up there at Lambeau. And while I was up there, it snowed in the second half, and I got snowed in and couldn't leave the next day like I was supposed to. Got snowed in for 2 days, and when I left up there, it was 17 degrees below zero. When we started the game, green grass, and when I went down on the field to do my post-game wrap-up on there, I couldn't see the other end zone. It was snowing so hard.
I can believe that.
But that was a bucket trip right there.